on that. Niji just tweeted. Okay. What'd they tweet? Oh boy. Thank you for your continued support of Nijisanji and Nijisanji Yen. Regarding the recent controversy, AnyColor has determined the following course of action. We've initiated an independent third-party investigation into these issues and will share the outcome with our livers and our community. This investigation will focus on the issues of sexual harassment and unauthorized information leakage to outside parties and will include a thorough review of company policies and their implementation. Based on the outcome of this investigation, appropriate disciplinary actions will be taken and an updated policies will be shared with our livers and our community. AnyColor is committed to a safe, community-focused environment free from any type of inappropriate behavior. For all inquiries related to the matter, please contact AnyColor Incorporated. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, December 8th, Sundays, December 8th. An investigation underway, focusing on the issues of sexual harassment and unauthorized information leakage to outside parties. So, an investigation is now underway from AnyColor Incorporated. Now, there's a lot of ways to read this, understandably. Because obviously, I would say, you know, expectedly, there will be a look as to what happened here, where to start, how can it end, right? As I've said earlier in the stream, no expectations. There was no expectations of this. There was no expectations of even the outcome of this. Nijisanji and AnyColor are going to do as they see fit. And this is where we're at now. Will anything happen? I mean, potentially. I mean, you know, they'll at least give us... They're saying, based on the outcome of the investigation, appropriate disciplinary actions will be taken. And updated policies will be shared with our livers and our community. So, someone or someones could be potentially disciplined. And they're going to be updating policies even further. And they're going to tell their livers about this. We're going to tell the community about that. Ideally, you know, we have insight into more than just a blanket statement. Some transparency into that policy that they implement would be nice. Again, depending on how you're looking at this, it could absolutely go the way that you want. This could go absolutely the way you don't want. However, no expectations. So yeah, if they terminate the victim and keep Aster, Nijisanji is so done in the West. Yes. Yes. If this is just a one-way street and publicly we just see one kind of reprimanding and not for another individual, that could look bad. This is what we were talking about because Nijisanji has been putting themselves into a no-win position, right? Nijisanji is basically putting themselves into a no-win position wherein, we have, you know, not taken action earlier when we could have privately. And so now we're being expected to do things publicly. Publicly, some are expecting this way, others are expecting that way. And what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Now it's Nijisanji. I can't help but think back to Zion. I can't help but think back to Celine. And I can't help but think of some of the arguably absolutely vindictive ways they've gone about quote unquote disciplinary actions and then aired that out in public, right? So the question is yet another bullet point list being made up of another Nijisanji liver? Well, let me tell you, they've been making bullet point lists on every single Nijisanji liver and just stowing those away. Nijisanji can only come into this looking really bad. I disagree. There are many scenarios that they could come out looking like a responsible, now correctly reactive organization, and they could see where, you know, this went wrong, and this is how we're going to address it, and we will be protecting ourselves from this ever happening again, right? There are ways they could go about, and just, again, transparency is going to be important. Transparency is going to be important. So there is a way they can get a get a win out of this, but it's going to take a lot of transparency. It's going to take actual action, right? And I don't really look for this, but people will expect it. Apologies. They would have done well to apologize for the discretions they had earlier this year, and they still hadn't. And that's why, without that kind of, what do I want to say? Without that kind of release, they are going to be seen in many people's eyes as just in the wrong, unfortunately. Apologies, Lamau. Yeah, well, I'm not saying it's realistic, man. I'm not saying it's realistic. I'm just saying, yeah, there is a path forward where they can come out of this looking, well, better than they do in current day, because it's already, unfortunately, public information now about the allegations and accusations. But, again, no expectations. Yeah, I guess I could say I'm just being logical about this. I guess you could say my expectations aren't exactly high. But just looking at some of the reactions here. Some people may not know even what this is about, right? Some people may not know what this is even about, because it's not directly addressing that. But if you know, you know. And that's why it was very, very important, not just even for my video, but for, you know, potentially others that are getting this out there to get your support. So what are they saying here? We've initiated an independent third-party investigation. Who's the third party? I don't know. I have no idea. Could be the same individuals that were taking care of the Yab incident, potentially. Maybe they have a good working relationship, and we're like, hey, we have another thing that's happened here. Can we take a look into this with your third-party investigation procedures, please? Right? So, again, also, when will we see anything out of this, right? Ideally, the sooner, the better. But, you know, the actual important thing is it's done right and thoroughly. Which brings into the question, is Aster Arcadia actually coming back at all this week or not? If this individual is being investigated, is this individual actually going to come back to streaming like anything's happening? Does Aster come back and address it? Aster could come back and absolutely deny everything, which is absolutely his right, of course. And then it's kind of his word against someone else within Nijisanji English. People try to frame it as, me versus him, which is like hilariously reductive because obviously that's not the case. People will try to reduce it to that. Not that simple. Not that simple. Do you think he'll be back after all this for the rest of the year? Again, no expectations. No expectations. I think Niji is going to find a way to make themselves look like the hero either way. We kicked the guy out for doing bad things, and we also found the leaker. Haha, we're awesome. I could be absolutely scorched earth. They do have the ability to do scorched earth. That's another option. Yeah. That's why no expectations, man. Like, we're awesome. Okay. I mean, this is naturally the consequences, though, of they. What I'm really interested in is the internal policy. So, back when Raziel got the cease and desist, it then, like, out of nowhere, this law firm cites a whistleblower policy that they put in after, like, I don't know, 2 weeks after Raziel put out the document, right? And it was like trying to make this as like as per our policy, it was like, well, you implemented this policy after the document, so retroactively trying to say it's there is weird. But it was a whistleblower policy they implemented. And boy, I'd like to know exactly what that's about, because it's for the internal people, especially the livers, about whistleblowing, right? What's in that? What does that entail? And is that getting updated after this? Because if people are going and trying to whistleblow and they're just being rebuffed by management, then what does this policy say to do? Does this policy even address that option? Oh God, we found this expensive branch to be problematic. We just closed it. Oh my God, like, yeah. The results of our investigation are Nijisanji English is no more. Nijisanji English was never a thing. Goodbye, Nijisanji. Jesus. Not expecting that, no. No. That's not an expectation either. Sorry. To those who want to see something like that happen. No. Now, it also bears saying the Q2 results are coming out on probably Wednesday. And again, no expectations. It could be way up. We have no insight. Really easy insight is to like how the business is doing for Nijisanji English. I mean, we have a little bit from quarter to quarter from the quarterly results. It's not been good. It's been going down. Maybe it goes back up. However, if it goes back down, again, that's just going to lead to further wonderings about what is the future of Nijisanji English, right?